Hi everyone and welcome to episode 175 of the Mighty Whites podcast. I'm Jack, as always joined by Casey.
Hello.
How's things, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. How about you?
Yeah, pretty good. I've just managed to get back from going into the office and I forgot how much having an hour's commute each way makes your day so much worse.
Yeah, I'd like to say I can imagine, but I will have been working 5 minutes from home.
Yeah, it's quite useful that. Obviously, alternate Simpsons title. Hello, is that Leeds v Villa? Yes. Good. Listen, I'm sick of your boring matches. I'm just an ordinary blue-collar slob, but I know what I likes on TV. And another thing, how come I can't get no tang around here? Deep Space Homer.
Is that toilet I can hear flushing in the background?
It is indeed. Yeah, that was a really crap game of football, wasn't it?
Oh, God, it was dreadful. And it was dreadful before the red card. It was dreadful after the red card. The red card was dreadful.
Yeah, there was... I mean, what are the redeeming features of that? We kept a clean sheet with 10 men for 45 minutes. That is good.
Yeah.
And we got a point.
Yes.
Going into the game, Villa at home, a point isn't a good result. But when you've got 10 men for half of it, it becomes an all right result.
Yeah. Like, it sort of excuses a lot of the performance from that game. The fact that we then get the point from that position. But, yeah, I don't think you could say either side played well.
No, that's definitely true. Like, in the first half, I thought in terms of getting the ball down and actually playing, we were marginally better. But they had actual chances from it. We had, one that Rodrigo won from edge at box that went just wide.
Yeah.
And didn't have a shot on target in the first half, I don't believe. Like, so even for the nice bit, there was a couple of nice bits of play that were mainly like Strauch, Rocker, Sinistera combining down the left. And we did play his way through a couple of times, but nowhere near enough to be able to like call it good. You couldn't go as far as good.
No, I think the worrying thing for us was I say worried, more disappointing than anything else was the one player who got booked for them in the first half, Augustinson. You were thinking, right, he's got booked early. Let's get him. Ah, crap, he's injured. Because it was the sort of bookie where you looked and thought, just run at him.
Yeah, and what did they do? They moved Young over to left back, Concert at right back, and brought on Jedinak.
Yes. Bednarek.
Bednarek, not Jedinak. I'm mixing the two names up.
That's the other one.
Yeah. But no, Bednarek, who I totally forgot was there. Like, when we talked about their defensive options with the fullbacks missing, I don't think his name came up because I completely forgot he played for him.
Yeah. I don't know how much difference any of it ever made to the game.
No. So, like, first half, the main takeaway when you were in the ground, and I'm guessing it was the same on TV, from minute one, Villa,
the referee was shite.
Villa start time wasting. And I have said it on here after numerous games. I am not mad at Aston Villa. It's the refereeing in this league. They have completely forgotten that there are laws on the books about time wasting. Like, Leon Bailey was the first egregious one after a couple of minutes. Leeds got a free kick, and he dribbled the ball about way after the whistle and then booted it to the other side of the pitch. Now, I don't care if it's 2 minutes in. It's a yellow card. And Villa fans should be just as pissed off as Leeds fans were. Because they did it. There was like 8 where you could have booked someone for time wasting. Got after Mark Locker got his yellow card for his tackle that was a yellow card. Ashley Young spent literally a minute, not that aggressively, but up to the ref going, that's a red, you should be doing this, for a whole minute.
Emi Martinez has his hands on the referee, grabbing his shirt.
Which
Like,
I didn't really notice that in the ground, but some people on
I'm not
TV
saying
have said that.
he's pulling him towards him, but like,
Yeah, it's not aggressive, but it's a
why?
yellow.
But yeah, why are you allowed to touch a referee at all? Like,
well, you're not. That's the thing, you're not.
And again, like you say, if you spent the first 2 weeks of the season right going, look, if you come and shout at me, it's a yellow card, regardless of your opinion, regardless of, you don't need to do it. And there are teams that do it now, and I'd be interested to see how much we do it now. But it's a lot more than, or anything will be more than we did under Bielsa, because I think it was pretty much banned at that point from us for haranguing a referee. But there are plenty of clubs that do it. Whenever there's a foul, you'll see 4 players go up to the referee.
Well,
and it just
when it comes
isn't
to
needed.
later, yeah, it needs it. I've been saying it for years. My kingdom for a referee will book someone for time wasting after 5 minutes and just set a precedent and go, right. But yeah, so if they do that, there's 7 or 8, nothing given. Rodrigo has one bit of dissent and is immediately booked. And then there was also some bad refereeing. Villa got a yellow card for what was just a foul. It was not a yellow card in a million years. And then Sinisterra's first yellow card is a nothing foul, 75 yards from goal. It is not a yellow card.
Yeah.
It's bad refereeing. Second half, Luis Sinisterra becomes an idiot.
Stupid man.
Yeah, you don't have to. You won't get booked for not being back 10 yards until the referee's whistle goes, unless you go for the ball. Then it's a yellow. And
it's what Raul Jimenez did the other year.
Yeah, there's been a few players done it. It was a silly thing to do. Now, I do still maintain that because he had let about 9 things go already, there's a pretty good argument that he should have let that go as well. But what Sinisterra did was a yellow card. So it's the first yellow that was dreadful. And this is where the Villa fans should be getting mad at the ref as well. Because he let them time waste like fuck for the entire first half and just not do anything. We then spent 40 odd minutes time wasting like fuck. Yeah. And he couldn't book our players for it because he'd already set the precedent that it's not a yellow card. Like, Leeds fans were, with the cheering when Meslier picked it up and took it to the other side. I mean, Mateus Click came on, and how the fuck he didn't get booked? I have not. He just kept picking the ball up and running away and throwing it. Like, it was ridiculous. But it was ridiculousness. First half, it's not Villa's fault, it's the referee. Second half, it's not our fault, it's the referee. It's shite refereeing. And he had no control of the game from about the 3rd minute. And there's just something about the refereeing in the league this year. It is definitely worse than before.
Yeah. Do we have? I can't remember if I'd seen somewhere. Do we have referees going to this World Cup?
Was it the last Euros where they didn't pick any?
Yeah, I was trying to remember if it was that or.
I doubt they've done the selection yet, to be honest. Oh no, they will have done. It's in fucking a month.
It's no, it's Michael Oliver and Anthony Taylor.
Well, so long as Atwell's not on the list.
Which I mean, I suppose if anyone's going to go, it might as well be them.
Yeah. Now, second half, obviously, I said in first half, Villa did have more efforts on target and probably did have the best chances, but we actually played okay. Second half, we defended all right, but we offered nothing. Villa were all over us. They had all the ball, all the possession. But what I would say is I think, to my memory, they only forced Meslier into one good save. He had to make a few saves, but one good one, which was the one-on-one with Watkins late on.
Yeah.
Which is a positive sign. And then later on, Bamford breaks in behind, pulls it back to Click, and it's well blocked. And just for a second, I thought we were going to nick it, which would have been a lovely shithouse win. But the defending in the second half, we did okay, and then we brought Firpo on and went to a 5. and Firpo looked a bit all over the shop in terms of execution, but he was in the right positions, and he didn't call like he had a head of it. He went to head out and he headed it for a corner, and he had a bad clearance. Where if he'd have actually cleared the man, we had a chance.
I think the clearance I got annoyed with was, I think he hit it diagonally back in field, and Villa just came back at us, and you just think, just smash it down the line, put it in the corner.
Yeah,
give us some time, man.
But he did play half an hour's football without getting booked.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Which is a thing. So Leeds definitely massively improved at the back from the Brentford game. Was that just basically down to Liam Cooper?
Is it down to Liam Cooper, or is it down to Diego Llorente not being there?
That is a conundrum.
Yeah. Do we praise Liam Cooper? Do we just assume that a mannequin alongside Robin Koch might have been at least as effective as Diego Llorente?
I am choosing to praise Liam Cooper. I thought he had a good game. I thought Robin Koch had a good game as well.
Yeah. No, to be fair, I agree with that, and I thought Christensen had a better game than he's been having.
Yeah, I must admit, this was just something that I saw on Twitter in the car coming back from the ground. There were some people slating Christensen's performance, which I found really weird because I thought he wasn't great. He was fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, Ayling came on that side and did nothing right for about 7 minutes. Like, I'm not sure he could see properly in that mask.
Cracking mask.
Yeah. Then he sort of he got his eye in after that, and then he was all right. But he just kept misjudging the flights of balls and stuff. It was a bit weird.
Yeah, I think ultimately I look at that performance and I didn't feel like anyone had a great game. I don't think anyone had a particularly bad game, except for
I have one.
Go on, man.
I was going to bring it up later, but I'm just going to do it now because it's come up. Is Jack Harrison just crap on the right, or did he just have a shit game?
Yeah, possibly. It's not his best game, but he's had a.
It's not his worst.
It's annoying because he had that run of really good games, and now he's had 2 or 3 not so good games.
Yeah, Harrison. We have seen it with Harrison before. He does throw one in, and it wasn't like championship bad day Harrison. 2 out of 10. Oh my God, how is this man a footballer? This was just his first touch was poor, and he never looked dangerous. But he just didn't look comfortable playing on that side.
No, it's a tough. I mean, we'll get on to Sinistera later as well, but it seems an odd one to me to have. I don't think I've said this to you before that we keep getting linked with wingers, but we are also keen on getting Jack Harrison to sign a new contract. And I don't see how those two things work in conjunction entirely.
No, and especially when like Nonto might play there and Perkins might play there. And I still think Joe Gellart's long-term future is on the right-hand side of that 3 behind the striker.
Yeah, at best, it's mixed messages.
Yeah.
Like, no, you are a valuable part of this team, but we are linked with wingers, and we did actively try to sign someone to play your position in the final days of the transfer window, but please stay.
Yeah. The other 2 things I've got noted down here is, well, one just says Aronson, ? Because I think he's, like there's all the effort and he gets into positions and he's quick and he does beat players, but that sometimes his technique lets him down in the final third. Well, I think in the last 2 games, his technique's let him down a lot in a lot of positions. Now, obviously, I still like him. I still think so far he's been a good signing, but if Sinistera wouldn't have got sent off, I would be thinking Aronson was in line to be dropped for the next game.
Yeah, it's an interesting time for sort of the attacking players in as much as Bamford is back now. We have a relatively fully fit team. Like Sinistero, off the back of scoring in 3 straight games, to do something as stupid as that when, the likelihood is now Bamford will go up front with Rodrigo in behind him, and we're back to Aronson and Harrison right and left, I imagine.
That is what I think will happen. Yeah.
So not only was it a daft decision to get sent off, it's a stupid time to do it just after he's put a run of games together.
What I will say is, because of how good he's been, I think he will be straight back in. Unless we have like a worldie of a performance against Palace and then you just keep the same team. But I think Sinistero will come back in. Because the last thing I've got is, and I was very surprised when I saw the team, because I'm amazed that unless he really wasn't fit, I am amazed that we didn't start Bamford. And I was even more amazed that we didn't bring him on at half-time. And then I was actually fuming that we didn't immediately bring him on when we went down to 10 men, when we needed something to hit.
Yeah, because you knew Rodrigo's not the answer. 1 as an out ball, and 2 as a pressing striker. Even if he hadn't already been playing for 45 minutes, you'd rather have Bamford on there doing that than him.
Yeah. So, which makes me think that he was less fit than we were led to believe, basically. And the other thing, and this isn't, I don't think this is something massively to read into, but I do think it's interesting that Gelhardt dropped off the bench. I mean, Jesse Marsh was at pains to say to everyone, like, don't worry, he is still a first-team player. I still really rate him, and I think he's been fine this season. It was basically just we added Nonto in, and someone had to drop out. But I still was surprised that he wasn't on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, with that, it was the issue going in that, and when we signed Nonto, that like I've been saying about Harrison, like, where does that kind of leave Joe Gelhardt, that you're actively looking for another striker to become second or third choice?
Yeah.
Like it would be, unless we were signing someone relatively cheap to be behind him in the pecking order. Like, but I don't see the sense in that. Like, if you're looking to improve your squad, unless it was, we are signing a 35-year-old striker on a 1-year deal just to
Glenn Murray.
Yeah.
Because it was always Glenn Murray. Or
Suleiman Dukara.
Yeah. Who is still only like 32 or something.
Yeah, still on a free.
There's a reason.
But so yeah, like I'd quite like to hear that conversation about where this leaves Gelhardt in terms of at least this season.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, in the same way that now Ayling's back, it's Christensen and Ayling. So in January, Drama should go out on loan. If Gelhardt isn't going to get enough football here, same. There'll be a queue of champion. Probably every club in the Championship would have him. And 16 of them would probably start him immediately. Like, there'll be ones in form at the top who will keep with what they've got. But, like, if he isn't going to get the game time, play him. And he sort of showed it. Was it Monday night, the Tranmere game? Or Tuesday? Tuesday, because those Champions League games on. Tranmere 5, Leeds United under 21. Tranmere 3, Leeds under 21's 5. It's a lot of numbers. I tweeted out as soon as I saw the lineup that this should be fun. And it was. Because the front six, JB and Sam Greenwood in midfield, when you've got Nonto, Gelhardt, Perkins, and Matteo Joseph as a front four.
Yeah.
brilliant. And then at the back, Klassen in goal, who, he did his thing at first team once, he did it fine, but he is a bit of a bomb scare sometimes. And then, we had Morton Spencer, who is basically an under-18 central midfielder, playing centre-back, although I like the way he steps out with the ball and plays passes, so I'm quite liking the idea of him as centre-back. And he's grown a bit as well. He's grown. It might work. We had him at the back with Chris Moore. Harvey Sutcliffe who is a young right back, played left back. And then Cody Drammer, who stood out a mile at the back because he was the senior head. And yeah, it was exactly, you would look at that and go, wow, we're going to be struggling at the back and really good going forward. And that is exactly what happened. We'll get Tranmere's goals out of the way. They went 2-0 up. First one's a miss-hit cross that lobs Klassen, and he couldn't do all about it. Second one's a really good finish. We're letting cut inside a bit too easy, but it's a really good finish. And the goal to make it 3-3 for them was just shit defending at a set piece. Also, I backed Leeds half-time, full-time, so them making it 3-3 in first half stoppage time was really annoying. But Leeds go 2-0 down, and you think, this is a shame. They're just, they've actually played quite well here. They don't deserve to be 2-0 down. And then they score 3 goals in about 4 minutes. Perkins with a rebound, finished well, which means he's scored in 10 games out of 10 this season and has like 14 or 15 in total. Then Gelhardt scores a belter from the edge of the box with his left foot and then gets played through by Jerry or was it Jerry? I can't remember. He got played through. Rounds the keeper, really good finish. Sam Greenwood does some really good work to set up Matteo Joseph to make it 4-3 in the second half. And then 5-3, JB breaks through, plays a really good ball into Cody Drammer, cuts inside, really good finish outside of his foot. Nonto also played that pretty well, but he was overshadowed by Gelhardt and Perkins. But especially Gelhardt, it's weird because I still find it amazing how when a defender goes flying into Joe Gelhardt, they just bounce off him. He's not big.
No, he's got sort of it's Wayne Rooney-esque in the way he uses his body. Even at sort of that younger age, I know he doesn't look like a potato, but he knows how to defend himself well, and yeah.
But they played some serious football. It was really good to watch. And Sonny Perkins, if he has a bad game, you're going to hate him. He's got that Viduka lazy look about him. Even when he isn't being lazy, he looks like he's being lazy. But he's really good. Considering it sounds like, because of how little he played, it sounds like this tribunal fee is going to be not much at all. And we may have already sorted it, but it's not a great deal. It looks like a serious buy. The only really disappointing thing, Sam Greenwood got himself sent off. Straight red card. Bad tackle. It was a revenge tackle. They went in on I can't remember who, but they went in on someone. Got the ball, but it was a very industrial challenge and he got booked for it. And Greenwood was pissed off and went flying in. It's debatable whether it was a straight red or a yellow, but he was already on a yellow anyway.
Yeah.
But the difference is, I think that means that it'll be a 3-game ban, but it doesn't carry over to the Premier League.
Just Premier League 2. Oh, no, JPT. Sorry,
yeah. Yeah, I think it's because it's an EFL competition.
Yeah.
So
he won't be able to play so he won't be able to play the League Cup.
I am not sure if that's how it works, but I think that there's a chance. But I think that there may be more games in the Checker Pizza before that. But that team selection, picking, we didn't pick senior players. It's not like, Man United played Tom Huddleston in theirs.
Yeah.
We didn't pick anyone like that.
Going.
But we picked some first team level players. And I would rather see this than the putting out the 15-year-olds like we were last time. Because there's no reason not to try and get out of the group with this and try and have a run in it.
Might as well win it.
I mean, I still think it's utterly ridiculous that Premier League teams are allowed under 21 teams in this competition. I think it's stupid. But if we're in it, while we're here, we may as well have a go.
I'm just looking, by the way. Tom Huddleston, he came off the bench.
Yeah. What was it? Because a couple of weeks ago, Jay Spearing came on as sub for Liverpool's under 21s.
Yeah, that was another one where I didn't quite realise that's where he was now.
Yeah, well, didn't Scum also have Paul McShane back for a year doing the same thing?
Basically, was he like a coach, like player coach?
Yeah, I think it was. I'm not sure who did it first. I think it was Brighton. Back end of his career, they brought back Andrew Crofts, I think it was, and he played like 2 years as plays the central holding midfielder and basically coach on the pitch.
to be fair, in 2028 on my Football Manager save, I have Alex Cairns and Stuart Dallas in our under 23s. So yeah, senior figures.
But yeah, that was it was a good palate cleanser after the shit game that was Villa. I mean, you would think that this will be a better game, whether it's good or bad. Palace away,
It can't be worse than Palace away last year. That was awful.
Oh God, that was the 0-0, wasn't it? That we watched in Podger.
Yeah, it was a poor game. We were dreadful. It was terrifying.
To be honest, I remember we just basically stopped watching. It just turned into having a drink in the pub because the game was so poor that no one was paying attention. So yeah, it's bound to be better than that. Palace are basically a 4-3-3. It changes a bit if the wingers drop a bit deeper, if they've got a tougher game, but it's basically 4-3-3. Zaha on the left, probably Ayew on the right, Mateta up front, maybe Ayew there with someone else on the right, maybe Odsonne Edouard. But it'll be Zaha on the left and two others. Elise and Eze could play wide right as well. But they have picked an attacking midfield three in some games where they've had Decore as the sitting one and then played Eze and Michael Elise as sort of eights running forward from midfield. Which would make for an interesting game if they're basically playing with a front five and we're sort of playing with a front four. That could make for a decent game. One of Klein or Ward at right back, Gahey and Anderson centre backs, Tyreek Mitchell left back. Obviously, there's room for injuries and stuff, but that will probably be the side because it doesn't change a great deal. Other than Zaha, who is obvious, who particularly scares you on their side?
I'm a big fan of Eze and Elise, to be fair. I think they've been two excellent signings.
Yeah.
They've made and two players who bedded in very quickly. Jordan Ayew is one of those players that I don't rate particularly highly, but it has a bit of pace about him, so can.
And he's a bit mercurial, isn't he? He's on his day.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this Palace team is a typical mid-table team that they'll be very competitive against some good teams, and then they'll lose games against shit teams. And I'm still not entirely sure which one of those categories we fit into yet.
Well, we're not in good teams, I can tell you that. I'm not sure we're in shit teams either.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a solid team, isn't it? As I kind of look at this team that they started out with against Chelsea. Guehi and Ward at the back was.
Yeah, I'm guessing that
it's fine, but
seeing as they played Ward centre back in the last game, is Joachim Anderson injured?
He was not on the bench.
Oh, apparently Anderson and Klein are both out.
Oh, okay.
So, well, I mean, Ward right back and James Tompkins in at centre back then. with
Yeah,
Gray.
it doesn't really help the mediocre thing, does it?
No, but Joachim Andersen's good, and his massive strength, his long passing from deep is outstanding. And our big hole is long ball in behind our fullback.
Yeah.
So I'm quite. If Joachim Andersen's not playing, it's not a game changer, but I definitely think it helps us.
No, it's definitely, like you said, the front 5 or 6 that you're probably more worried about when you look at Edwards. Edwards been a good signing. Ayew, as we said, bit hit and miss, but can be good. Zaha is a very good forward, if not a bit whiny. And Eze and Elise, if they're sort of breaking deep from midfield as well, can do a lot of damage.
Yeah. If he doesn't want to go as balls out in midfield, or if he plays one of them as the winger, it'll probably be Jeff Schlupp comes into midfield, who again, plenty of legs. Not nearly as... I mean, he's not technically bad by any stretch, but he's not as technically gifted as Elise and Eze. And then they could play Will Hughes as well, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
They've also got that Malcolm Eberwey that they got from Derby, who is, another tricky quick winger. They like a tricky quick winger at Palace.
Yeah.
We already sort of talked about it. The main thing I was thinking is who comes in for Sinisterra, but I think we're both thinking it's Bamford.
Yeah, you'd assume so, unless they really doubt whether he's up to, at least playing an hour.
You would think you would think he must be able to do more than 45 minutes. And if he can, to be honest, if they said he's only fit for 45 minutes, I'd still start him.
Yeah.
And I'd take him off if you need to. The ballsy decision is to play Somerville and give him his chance. Because obviously Harrison will revert to the left, which will help him, you would think. So if Harrison was to stay at 10, you could play Somerville. Suppose you could play Gelhardt, but I don't think they'll do that. I do think it'll be Bamford in.
Could play Greenwood.
You could, but he seems to like him more as a centre mid, doesn't he? And I'm not sure that getting sent off stupidly in the under-21s is the way to play yourself into the first team.
Get in my first team. The only other way I could see is and again, I think I am convinced it is going to be Bamford and Rodrigo up front. You could have Click start, but I think he has actually worked quite well off the bench so far this season.
Yeah. He'll definitely get on the pitch in this game. Just a matter of when.
By the way, fantastic choice to bring him on when you need to time waste.
Yeah.
No better player to bring on.
No, he is a perfect shithouse. He has been the whole time. Do we change anything else? Do you think?
No, I don't think so, and I don't really see any need to. I suppose he could, if he felt like it, bring Firpo in and start him, but I think that would be harsh on Strauch.
Yeah, I don't think he will. Strauch had a perfectly solid game at left back. Again, there is that moment where he gets 25 yards from goal and he don't look comfortable, but it's because he's centre back. Long term, at some point this season, we do need to start playing Firpo purely so we can play Strauch as a centre back. But if Cooper plays well, that just puts it all back.
It's sort of that catch-22 position, isn't it? That I think we need Liam Cooper in the team. If nothing else, I think from a leadership perspective, I think he's been missed at the start of the season and certainly last season. And unless Robin Koch gets injured, like I wouldn't want to take either of those two out while they're doing well. And I think I'd rather take the hit going forward keep playing Strauch there than bring Firpo in.
Yeah. The good thing is that left side, I mean, it'll be Harrison this week and he's been very good on the left. I do think you can afford to lose that bit of attacking play from left back if you've got Sinistera in front of him. Because he doesn't. I mean, he can play 1-2s and get him behind, but that's not what he's at. He's run at people, beat people, try stuff. And then the fullback support is less important. I didn't mention that we came up with a goose egg, both bets and predictions last time out.
Yeah.
I had Sinistera. I had to check yours because you had Watkins' header on target, and he did have 4 shots on target, but
none of them were headers. I don't believe.
No, he had one header off target.
Oh, did he have one header off target? Yeah.
He had a header off target. I checked with FB Ref. And yeah, we both predicted a win. But I'm not predicting a win for this one. I've got 2-2.
I will go. I'll go with my regular 2-1 win.
Go 2-1 win for KC. And have you got a bet in mind? If you don't, I do.
You go.
Well, obviously, I've just said Harrison had a bad game last time out. But 1, I think he'll be back on the left, which you'll prefer. And 2, I think Bamford will be up front. So I've got Harrison assist at 4-1.
I'm going to go with a scorecast on this one. I'm going to go with Rodrigo to score first and Leeds to win 2-1 at 72-1.
72-1.
Well, 71.96, but I thought I'd round up for you.
I'll give you the 0.04.
Thank you.
It's only right, I think. Yeah, that'd be nice. So, yeah, I think this will be as I say, an away point. I think would be a good result. Palace are a team you can beat, but they are a team that we can easily lose to. I'm just hoping we put in a much better performance, and I'm hoping to see a bit more cohesion going forward. Yeah, if we can put one in with a chance.
Yeah, so I suppose the good thing playing a team like Palace, especially with them being at home, is that that they have players that like to get forward. There's no sense in that team playing for time, I don't think.
No, that's true. We shouldn't see. I mean, God's honest truth, you look at the two teams, and if one of them is more likely to start time wasting early, it's probably us.
Yeah.
Which should make for at least something a little bit better to watch.
Yeah, although I'm looking at their team and thinking Zaha against Christensen could be an interesting experience.
Yeah, but I don't think it matters who we put at right back. Like most right backs in the league, that's true, isn't it? Really, like he's just really good.
If he only just didn't moan about everything.
I mean, if we start Firpo, then Patrick Vieira's first move should be to put Eze on the right, and
just run towards him.
And if they were originally playing Jordan Ayew on the right, fuck it, just play Jordan Ayew in centre mid, just so you can have Eze again if we play Firpo, because he will get booked within about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I did have a look. I think his price to get booked is about 6 to 5 if he starts, which I think is about right, to be honest. So, yeah, that will do us for the podcast. We'll be back, I don't know, probably Tuesday, maybe, next week.
Yeah. When do we play after that?
It's Sunday, then Sunday again.
Sunday.
But I'm just going to check. I think the under-21s play Monday night. Yeah, Monday, 10th of October. So, yeah, Tuesday is the best day to do it, provided work and stuff doesn't get in the way. But I think I might even be off.
I was just looking ahead to the Arsenal fixture and just thinking, oh, joy.
It's Arsenal. They're due an Arsenal. Maybe it'll be against us.
Yeah. I mean, as mediocre as they've been the last couple of years, they seem to still get the result against us.
Yeah, they also seem to be really good this season. People keep forgetting how good they are because of how good Man City are.
Yeah.
But like Arsenal are top.
Yeah, Arsenal are top. I think signing two players that won the Premier League has strangely benefited them greatly.
Yeah, and also we do have to mention that it was good to see a Leeds lad get a hat trick against Scum.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that thing that was going around of how long it had taken players to score 3 Premier League hat tricks.
Yeah, I did. Like the record was 48 games, and he's done it in 8.
Yeah.
He is. It's like there's a story that the one at Shitrags going around going, oh, his actual wage when you include all his bonuses, which he does get, is like 900 grand a week. In modern football, he's still cheap. That's how good he is. He's ridiculous.
I mean that little clip from the Champions League game where he sprints out, picks up the referee's spray bottle that he's dropped, hands it back to him, and sprints back into the penalty area to try and make a run.
Yeah.
And I think I saw someone describing it as Erling Haaland is now going on side quests.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. I've said we're on about this in the ground before, and at one point during the Villa game, we're playing them on Boxing Day, and he'll have just had a month off. If you're lucky enough to go to that game, which unless something goes wrong, I will be. You know, if they put 6 buyers and he gets 5, just try and enjoy it. I know it's hard, but like when the Invincibles came and battered us, and we all applauded them because they were just that good.
Yeah.
Try and do that. You'll have a much better time because they are gonna batter us.
I'm not going to lie. I'm hoping for him to be a bit like Jermaine Beckford anytime he came back. I just want him to be happy that he's playing at Ellen Road and.
Nice. He's too much of a machine. What he'll be is very happy to be playing at Ellen Road, and he'll get subbed off, and he'll give the lead salute to all the fans, and we will applaud him. The difference is he'll have scored a hat trick rather than just missing everything like Beckford did.
Yeah.
Right, cool. That will do us for episode 175. I've been Jax here.
I'm Casey. Have a good one.
In a bit.